Hello children, welcome back to Science World. I hope you are doing well and getting help from my videos. Students, if you find this video useful for you, then please like, comment, share with your friends and also subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get notification of my upcoming videos. Students, this is our fourth video of chapter Motion and Time. In our first video, we have discussed about the rest and motion. In our second video, we have discussed about time and its measurement. In our third video, we have discussed about the speed. Okay, now this is the fourth and last video of this chapter, that is motion and time, and here we are going to discuss about the distance time graph. Okay, so let's start with the graph paper. So here we will start with the graph paper. I will tell you in short what is graph paper and how to plot a graph with the help of data. Okay, so let's start. What is a graph paper? A specially designed paper which is divided into squares of 1 centimeter sides, and these squares are further divided into millimeters. You all have seen the graph paper. Okay, you use this graph paper in maths also. So we draw two lines on the graph paper. Suppose this is a graph. Okay, graph paper. So we first draw two lines. One is horizontal and one is vertical line. So horizontal line is known as x-axis and vertical line is known as y-axis. So here this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. These two lines are the starting of plotting the graph. Okay. While plotting a graph, we have always plot independent quantity along the horizontal axis. Now this is the axis, and here we plot, or here we always denote the independent quantities that not change. These quantities not change. Okay, and that's why they are known as independent quantities, like for example time. Okay, in this distance time graph. While plotting a graph, we always plot dependent quantity along vertical axis. Now this vertical axis, or we can say y-axis, so we always plot dependent quantity along the vertical axis. Okay, here we always denote with the dependent quantities, for example distance, in the distance time graph. So distance will be always on the y-axis and time will be always on the x-axis in the distance time graph. Okay, next here are some examples of dependent and independent quantities. So number of hours a student studies affects the score she got on an exam. Suppose a student is there and she is getting some score, and the score is compared with the studies, that is hours of studies. So here score she got is the dependent quantity and hours is the independent quantity. Okay, so score is changing, not the time, that's why it is independent quantity. Second example, 10 seeds are given different amount of water to grow into plants. Now here height of the plant and amount of water, these are the two quantities. Height is changing according to the amount of water given. So amount of water is independent quantity and height of plant is the dependent quantity in this example. Next example, distance time graph of a vehicle. So time is independent quantity here. Okay, according to time distance is changing, so distance is depend on the time. So that's why distance is dependent quantity and time is independent quantity. Okay, the quantities to be plotted on a graph paper are generally much larger than the paper or the graph paper. So for each axis a convenient scale is chosen such that the line or the curve should cover the graph paper appropriately. See, when we plot a graph, before that we see that numbers are varying. Okay, in each example number are varying and these example or these numbers are larger. Okay, these numbers are larger. Suppose you have to plot a graph of a car traveling with changing its distance according to the time. Okay, means distance time graph. But if that car is traveling some thousands kilometer, then how you will show all the kilometers on the graph? So that will be difficult. So what we do, we take a convenient scale. Okay, we decide a scale for that graph and then accordingly we plot the graph. So here we can see for a moving car we can choose the scale 1 centimeter on y-axis. Okay, that is 1 minute or 1 second, we can take 1 minute or 1 second, and for y-axis we can take 1 kilometer or 1 meter for 1 centimeter. Means suppose one small square or this 1 centimeter is showing 1 kilometer, or we can say 100 kilometer or 1000 kilometer according to our data. So scale is a convenient method, or we can say scale helps us to plot a graph on the paper with the larger data. Okay, then here you can see two axes are marked according to the scale. Both the axes, they are marked according to the scale. Then values are plotted in the form of points. After marking these scales, okay, after marking this deciding the scale, what we do, we mark according to the values, both the axes. Okay, means suppose time is there, so 1 2 3 4 5 times we write here, and then the values of distance we write on the y axis. Then values are plotted in the form of points. Then whatever values are there, we point them in the form of point. You can see here, suppose these are the some points that we get according to the values of the data. Okay, and afterwards what we do, these points are joined by a smooth line or curve. Now here these all the points 1 2 3 4 5, these points are there, and these we join with the curve or a straight line. Okay, so in this way we plot a graph on the graph paper. So what are the uses of graph? Graph is a data representation in compact form. Large data we can show or we can represent in a compact form. Okay, in very little space. Dependence of quantities on one another. So from the data or from this graph, we can find out which quantity is depend on the in the example. Okay, suppose two quantities are there, so we know from the graph that which quantity is depend on the other quantity. Then comparison is easier. So whatever data is provided by this graph, okay, plotting of graph, we can easily compare the two quantities. Okay, that is dependent quantity and independent quantity. Then drawing the conclusion is easier. So from the graph we can draw conclusion easily. There are three types of graphs. We can see the bar graph, pie graph, or it is also known as pie chart, and the line graph. So here you can see now some examples of graph. Okay, so this is the type of graph. You can see bar graph, a typical bar graph between the runs made per over and the serial number of the over is shown below. Now here you can see this bar graph is showing the runs scored in each over by a cricket team. So these are the bar, and like this we can show the data. These are the runs and these are the number of overs. Okay, then here you can see the pie graph or pie chart. This is showing the daily requirements of some vitamins in our body. So pie chart showing the daily requirements of some vitamins in adults. So here you can see vitamin E, these are the vitamins, then vitamin C. So here from here we can say that vitamin C is more needed by the adults. So easily we can draw the conclusions. Then third type of graph is line graph. So this graph is showing the line, simply one line is there. So line graph is showing the distance covered by a bus in each minute. So in these three ways we can represent our data in the graph. Okay. Then we will see the distance time graph. Okay. So if we plot a graph of the distance versus time for uniform motion and non-uniform motion, then what type of graphs we will get? So with x-axis we plot, denote with time on x-axis, and on y-axis we show the distance. Okay. So when there is a uniform motion, then we get a straight line. We get a straight line for uniform motion, and if the motion is non-uniform, then we get the non-straight line. Okay. So non-straight line shows non-uniform motion and straight line shows the uniform motion. Now we will see some typical distance time graphs that are as follows. Let's see what are the distance time graphs. So here you can see the first one. Okay. So here you can see the distance time graph for a body at rest is a straight line parallel to the time axis. Suppose here distance is there, time is there, time is in minutes and distance is in meter. Now here you can see this parallel line to this time. Okay, so time axis is parallel to this line. So what we can say, that distance is 0, means the body is at rest. This body is at rest, it is not moving, and that's why this is a straight line graph showing the body at rest. Okay, the next is, here you can see the distance time graph of a body moving with an increasing non-uniform speed is a rising curve. Now this curve is rising, that means it is not a straight line, that means it is not a uniform motion, it is non-uniform motion. Okay, but here you can see, here the distance is increasing. Here 10 meter is there, then 20, here again 10 meter, here 5 meter is there, then here you can see from 20 to 40, so 20 meter is increased. So this distance is increasing with the time, so it is non-uniform motion. Okay, and it is a curved graph of distance time, increasing. Then next you can see here the distance time graph for a body moving with a decreasing non-uniform motion. Decreasing means the speed of the vehicle is decreasing. Okay, here it is 10 meter per 10 meter in 5 seconds, then next one from 0.5 second to 2 second it covers this much distance, that is 20 meter, then again it is in decreasing, second, third, fourth, it is decreasing. So that's why this is not a straight line, it is a curved decreasing line. Okay, so it is decreasing non-uniform speed. In last graph we have seen increasing non-uniform speed, and this is decreasing non-uniform speed. Then here you can see one another example, the distance time graph for two objects A and B moving with uniform speeds. A is moving faster than B. Now here you can observe that this is the object B and this is the object A. Okay, now object A is having more slope, so if the slope is more, then the speed is more. This you remember, slope is more, then the speed is more, and that's why we can say that body A or object A is moving faster than object B. Okay, so here it is the comparison of distance, comparison of speeds of two objects. Okay, so this is also a. Then we will see some examples based on this distance time graph. So here one example is there. An object has moved 50 meter in a straight line. The table below shows its changes of distance with time. Okay, observe this table now. You can see distance in meter 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and time in second it is given 0 to 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Draw a distance time graph for the object in motion. Now we can plot this graph like this. Here you can see. Okay, so this is the graph for this question. So here we have taken time on the x-axis and distance on the y-axis here. Okay, so here we can see now time 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6, 8, 10 seconds, and then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this object has moved 50 meters in a straight line. So we will obtain this type of straight line. That means the graph or the graph we obtain is the straight line graph, means it is moving in a straight line or uniform motion. Okay, so in this way we can plot a graph. So first we have to put the points here. One for 10 meter 2 seconds, for 20 meter 4 seconds, then 30 meter 6 seconds, 40 meter for 8 seconds, and 50 meter for 10 seconds. First you put the dots here, okay, and then join these dots. Okay, so in this way you can draw the graph for distance time. Okay, then the next example is a car travels at a constant speed of 10 meter per second for 6 seconds. Okay, speed is given, that is speed of the car is 10 meter per second and time is given 6 seconds. So we have to sketch a speed time graph, not the distance time graph. Speed time graph for the motion of the car, and second we have to find out the distance traveled by the car. Okay, so let's see the graph of this example. Here you can see So here we have plotted time on the x-axis and speed on the y-axis. We have taken the speed on the y-axis. Okay, so here you can see we have got a straight line graph. Okay, straight line graph, but this line is parallel to this time. Okay, means x-axis. So this line, parallel line that we got is parallel to the x-axis. That means what? Here the speed is given 10 meter per second, 20 meter per second, 30 meter per second, 40 meter per second and 50 meter per second. Okay, so this is a uniform motion. So next we have to find out the distance traveled. We know that the speed is constant. It is given in the example that at a constant speed. Okay, so this constant speed gives us the parallel line. Okay, then what is the distance? So here 10 meter distance is there, and 10 meter into 6, that is 60 meter. So this car traveled 60 meter in 6 seconds at a constant speed. Okay, then we have next example. Here you can see the motion of a lorry is given in the table below. Time is given in second, distance is given in meter. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 and 24, this is the time. Distance is given in meter. It is 0, 40, 80, 80, 80, 300 and 360. Using the data from the table, sketch a distance time graph and deduce from the graph what we have to find out: speed of the lorry after 2 seconds from the start. Then second we have to find out average speed for the whole journey, and third we have to find out position of the lorry at time t 22 seconds. So when it is when the time is 22 seconds, we have to find out the position of lorry. Okay, so let's see the answer of this question. So now here you can see the distance time graph of the example. So this lorry traveled in 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 and 24 seconds. Okay, and here the distance is given in meters, 50, and this is the scale. Actually scale is taken as 50 meter for 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter shows 50 meters, and here 1 centimeter shows 4 seconds. Okay, so this is the scale of this graph. Because the kilometers are more, so we cannot show all the kilometers here. That line will go above the graph. Okay, so we have taken this scale. Now you can see here after plotting these points. So first is at 4 second, it is on 40 meter distance is covered. The next 4 second it is 80, then again next 4 second it is 80, again next 4 second it is 80, next 4 second it covered up to 300 meter, and then last 4 second it covered 360. Okay, 300 to 360. So in this way, this is the plotting of graph. Now let's solve the questions related to this graph. So the first question is, what is the speed of the lorry after 2 seconds? Okay, and according to the table we can see here that the distance given is 40 meter and the time given is 4 seconds. Okay, so this is the first value we have in our table. So at the distance 40 meter at 4th second, the speed of the lorry is 10 meter per second. So if you will see 4th second here also in graph, 4th second the lorry is covering 40 meter distance. Now we have to find out after 2 seconds. So again we can take this distance 40 meter, and time we will change. We want 2 seconds, so we will take the time 2. So 40 meter divided by 2 seconds, we will get 20 meter per second. So this is the speed of the lorry after 2 seconds. Here in the graph also you can see when the lorry reaches at here 20 meter, okay, in 2 seconds. So this is the speed of the lorry after 2 seconds. Okay, and second is average speed of the whole journey. We have to find out the average speed of whole journey, that is 24 seconds, 360 meter is covered. So average speed is equal to total distance upon total time, that we know. Through 360 is the total distance and 24 seconds is the total time taken to cover this distance. So the answer is 15 meter per second is the average speed of this lorry. Okay, then the next question is we have to find out the position of the lorry at time t, or we can say time 22 second. Okay, so the average speed between 20 second to 24 second is 360 minus 300 upon 24 minus 20 seconds. So here what is 360? 360 is the distance covered at 24 second and 300 is the distance covered at 20 seconds. So we have to find out the speed between these two. Okay, so we have subtracted this. So 24 minus 20 we have taken here time, and the final distance is 360. So we will subtract 300, that is the distance covered at 20 seconds. This is distance covered at 24 seconds. So the average speed between these two seconds, that is 20 second to 24 second, these two numbers are there. So it is 15 meter per second. Okay, it comes 15 meter per second. Then from this we can find out the distance traveled in 2 seconds. So the distance, that is from 20 second to 22 second, we have to find out. So it is for 20 second to 24 second, and now we will find out 20 second to 22 second. So as we know that in 2 seconds it is moving 15 meter per second. Okay, so we will multiply by 2. 2 is the time and 15 is the speed. We have to find out the distance. So distance is equal to speed into time. So 15 into 2, that is 30 meters. So the position of the lorry is 300 plus 30, means it is in between 300 to 360. So it is 330. So this is at 20 second, this is at 22 second, and this is at 24 second. So this is the position of lorry at 20 second, 22 second and 24 second. So the position of lorry is 330, that is 300 plus this 30 meter at the line. Okay, so in this way we have found out the position of the lorry at 22 second. Okay, then we have one more question here. Question number 6, you can see. What is a distance time graph? With an example, prepare a graph of distance time and find out the total distance covered by the body. Draw a table for this graph and draw conclusion about the type of motion of the body undertakes. So here we have to take an example. Any example you can take here. So I have taken this example. Okay, here this example is the time I have taken 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18, and distance is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So this is the table. From this table we can draw this graph. Okay, so this is the graph of distance time for this example. So here on x-axis time is given in second, on y-axis distance is given on in meters. Okay, so this distance time graph, if we plot a graph by taking time on x-axis and distance on y-axis, we get a line, and this type of graph is called distance time graph for uniform motion. So question was, what is the distance time graph? So this is the answer of this question. Okay, so this type of graph in which we get the line, straight line, it is known as distance type graph for uniform motion. Then we have this table. Now we have to find out the total distance covered by the body. So how we will find out this total distance? It is already given. Total distance is 30 meter. Okay, so here we have finished this answer number 6 also. Then we have one more question, that is question number 7. A table below represents the distance traveled by a vehicle on a road. Draw the distance time graph for the vehicle. What type of motion do you see? Okay, so time is given here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and 18 in minutes, and distance traveled is given in kilometers. So 2 kilometer, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9 kilometers. So what we have to find out here? We have to plot a distance time graph and we have to tell the motion of this vehicle, whether it is uniform or non-uniform motion. Now let's see the answer of this question, that is the graph of the question. So here time is taken in minutes on the x axis and distance is taken on the y axis, it is in kilometer. So from the table we have plotted this graph, that is, this is 2 minutes 2 kilometers, 4 minutes 4 kilometers, 6th minute 6 kilometer, then 8 minute it is covering 7 kilometers. Okay, next only 1 kilometer it is moving next minute, then again next minute it is moving 1 kilometer, that is 7 to 8. Okay, then at 12th minute it is again covering 8 to 9 kilometer, that is 1 kilometer it is traveling, and then from 12th minute to the 18th minute it is not moving. Okay, it is not moving, it is at rest. So this motion of the vehicle, it is not uniform, it is not a straight line, it is not moving according to the equal distances, it is not moving in equal distances in equal time. Okay, then that's why it is a non-uniform motion. So this vehicle is showing non-uniform motion. Okay, because we know that the uniform motion always gives a straight line graph. Okay, then we have another question, that is this figure. You see, this figure shows the graph of the distance with time a car travels as measured from the starting point. So what we have to find out, we have to first describe the motion, then we have to calculate the average speed for first 10 minutes, first 10 seconds and for the last 4 seconds. Okay, then we have to calculate the average speed of the body for whole journey, average speed of the car, then where is the car between the interval 4 second to 10 second. Okay, so where is the car and where is the car at the end of 14 seconds. So all these answers we have to find out from this graph. Now here you can see this graph. So distance time graph is there, time is given in seconds, distance is given in meter. Okay, so here 4, 10 and 14, these are the seconds, and 20 is the distance traveled by the car. Okay, so let's start the solution of this question. So now here you can see the same graph, same figure is there. So the question is, we have to describe the motion. So in the time period 0 to 4, so 0 to 4, that means here you can see in the figure 0 to 4 second. So and then 10 to 14 second, 10 to 14 second. So 0 to 4 second and 10 to 4 second, if you observe carefully, the motion is uniform. Here you can see this is the straight line and again this is the straight line. So there is uniform motion for 0 to 4 second and 10 to 14 second. Then if you again observe this 4 to 10 second, so 4 to 10 second, here this body or this car is at rest position, it is not moving, it is at rest. So it is a non-uniform motion, because the car first it is in the straight line it is showing. Okay, then again it is in rest and again it is showing the slope. So we can say that this is the non-uniform motion. Then we have to find out the average speed for the first 10 seconds. Okay, so from the figure we can say that the total distance is 20 meter. Okay, and the total time is 10 seconds for first 10 seconds. Okay, so the average speed will be 20 divided by 10, 2 meter per second. Okay, for first 10 seconds. Then for the next, or we can say last 4 seconds, the total distance is same, that is 20 meter. Okay, and the time is 4 seconds, last 4 seconds. So it is 5 meter per second. Okay, so average speed is 5 meter per second. Now next is average speed of the whole journey. We have to find out the average speed of the whole journey of that car. So total distance we know, first 10 seconds it is distance it is 20 meter. Okay, and next 10 second, next 4 seconds it is 20 meter. So it is 20 plus 20, 40 meter, and total time, that is first 10 seconds and the last 4 seconds, the total time is 14 seconds. So 40 divided by 14, 2.86 meter per second. This is the average speed of the car for whole journey. Okay, then next question is find out the place or where is the car between the interval 4 second to 10 second. We have to find out the place of the car between the interval of 4 second to 10 second. Now here again you observe the figure 4 second to 10 second, here this one. So here it is the parallel line, okay, parallel line to the timeline or x-axis. So you must remember that I have told you that when this type of graph is there or this type of parallel line is there, that means distance is covered 0, the body is at rest position. Okay, so from this graph we can say that, or we can write the answer like between the interval of 4 seconds to 10 seconds, the car is standing at the distance 20 meter from the starting point. It is not moving. So at 4 seconds it came to 20 meter and it is not moving from that place next 10 seconds. So it is at rest. Okay, then what is the last question of this exercise is, where is the car at the end of 14 seconds? So at the end of 14 seconds the car is at its starting point. Okay, the car is at its starting point. So these are the all answers of this question. Then this is the last question. The graph alongside shows how the speed of a car is changing. It is the same figure like the previous one. Okay, but here instead of speed distance, speed is given. Okay, so speed is given in meter per second and time is given in second. So what we have to find out here, explain the motion of the car, then we have to find out the acceleration of the car during the first 4 seconds, then total distance traveled, average speed, final speed of the car. These are all the things we have to find out from this graph. Now here two more definitions, or we can say terms are there. These two terms, that is acceleration is there. So what is acceleration? So acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Okay, so and you know velocity is the speed with direction, means it is the rate of change of position with respect to time, and velocity is shown by v while acceleration is shown by a. So acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. Okay, changing velocity we can say, and velocity is the speed which has direction, means suppose we are saying that dog is running 9 km, or dog runs 9 km per hour westwards, means here westward is the direction, so it is denoting the velocity, not the speed. If we will say that dog runs 9 km per hour, this is only the speed, but if we will say dog runs 9 km per hour westward, then it is the velocity. So velocity is calculated by the formula v is equal to s into t, same it is speed into time. Okay, and acceleration, that is a, it is calculated by the formula v by t, means velocity upon time. So acceleration, the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Unit of acceleration is meter per second square, and the velocity, its unit is meter per second. Okay, so these are the two terms, you remember them. Now we will find out the answers to these questions. Okay. So let's see the answers of this question. So first we have to find out the motion of the car. We have to explain the motion of the car. So first second, that is from 0 to 4 seconds, the speed increases constantly till 20 meter per second. You can look at the diagram again here. Okay, so from 0 to 4 seconds, the speed increases. Okay, the slope is increasing. It increases constantly till 20 meter per second. Then for 4 to 10 seconds, there is a constant speed. This speed is constant from A to B. It is constant. It is not changing. Okay, this is constant speed. And from 10 to 14 seconds, again this is decreasing. Okay, the speed is decreasing, and here it becomes 0. Here it becomes 0. So we can say that from 0 to 4 the speed increases constantly till 20 meter per second. From 4 to 10 seconds there is a constant speed, and from 10 to 14 seconds speed decreases constantly and becomes 0. Okay, so this is the first answer. Then we have to find out the acceleration of the car during the first 4 seconds. Now here we know that initial velocity means at starting the velocity it is denoted by u. Okay, u is the initial velocity and v is the final velocity. Okay, so u is 0, then v is 20 meter per second, means it is here, this is the 20 meter per second, this is the final velocity. Then t, it is 4 second, that is time, and we have to find out the acceleration, that is a. So acceleration formula is v by u upon t, final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. So final velocity, it is 20 meter per second minus 0 upon 4, it is 5 meter per second square. Okay. So this is the acceleration. So remember the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Okay. Then the next question is, we have to find out the total distance traveled. Now look at this figure here. Here I have divided this figure into 3 parts. That's this APO, one triangle, then ABQP, it is the rectangle, and BQC, it is the again one rectangle. Okay, so these are the triangles, 2 triangles and 1 rectangle. So we have divided this figure into 3 parts to find out the total distance. So when we find out the or when we calculate the area of this figure, okay, this figure is known as trapezium. You can use the formula of trapezium to calculate this distance also, or you can divide it into 3 parts and then you can find out the area of these 3 figures and then add it, so you will get the distance. So this type of graph gives the distance, total distance traveled by the body. Okay, so let's see how it is done. Okay, so here we have this two triangles and 1 rectangle. So this figure is trapezium. We can divide it into 2 triangles and 1 rectangle as above to calculate the total distance. So we first will find out the area of triangle APO. So we know that the formula is 1/2 b into h. Okay, so 1/2, we know that base is 4. Now where is the base of this triangle? Here you can see this is the base of this triangle and this is the height. Okay, so base is 4 and height is 20. Here also for this triangle, this base is 4 and height is 20, and for this rectangle the length is 20 and the breadth is 4. Okay, so let's see the calculation now. So here 1/2 into b into h, so 1/2 into 4 into 20, so it will become 40. Then here again for second triangle, same we will do because the quantities or values are same, that is 4 into 20, it is 40. Then for this rectangle, the length is 20 and the breadth is 6. How it is 6? Let's see. It is here, you can see from 4th second to 10th second. So how many seconds are there? 6 seconds. So we have taken this as a length. Okay, so length is 20 and breadth is 6, so it is 20 into 6, 120. So in this way we have found out the area of this all the 3 parts. Then what is the total distance? 40 plus 40 plus 120, this 40, 40, 120. If you will add them, you will get 200 meter. This is the total distance covered by that car. Okay, then what is the average speed? Total distance traveled upon total time taken, it is the formula of average speed. So total distance we have just found out, it is 200. Okay, 200 meter, and total time taken is 14 seconds. So total time you see here again 0 to 14, it is 14 seconds. So 200 upon 14, it is 14.28 meter per second. This is the average speed of that car. Then the last question is final speed of the car. What is the final speed of the car? Now final speed of the car is 0. How it is 0? Because you just see here, when this car started moving from 10th second from this B position, its slope is decreasing. Okay, its slope is decreasing, and at 14 it is 0. Okay, and that's why here the car has stopped and the final speed of the car is 0. Okay, so in this way we have completed here some of the examples that are based on the graph, distance time graph. So here we have finished the 4th video of this chapter, and we will meet again in our next video. Till then, take care, bye bye.